have that spirit in Washington at all. Skeptically cautious, we should all view the political system. I am not telling you to believe in the political system outright. This is broken. We know it's broken. Be clear about it. But as part of our diversity of tactics, we have to engage all fronts. A movement will leave no stone unturned. Now, as we move forward, it turns out that we bumped into an issue of not spending enough money. Which is great, because the premise of our candidacy is get money out of politics and put people and voters in. So the people of my congressional district decided that I would have enough signatures and enough support to get on the ballot. So the people put me on the ballot, but a New York television show, a New York station, New York One, Time Warner, decided that their prerequisite for having me on that show was whether or not I spent a certain amount of money. And they put it in writing. And what they invited was the unification of the hornets that we call Occupy activists. Because we're swarming, and they don't believe that because we're not in Zuccotti, we're not in Liberty, they don't believe we're activated. The reality is we're more activated now than ever. More serious people are doing things now than ever. And we started raising a ruckus. And within 24 hours, we had over 100 people ready to go to that studio. And I was ready to walk in by myself, and if I was going to get thrown out in handcuffs, I was ready to do that, because I believe in people's right to participate in our electoral process, and more importantly, I know that it's critical to not have money determine who gets to hear the messages, especially not at the hands of corporate control media. So we heard a lot of twos and fro's, a lot of what ifs, and a lot of what we call straight lies and fabrications on behalf of the news channel. And I think they were afraid. An act of God changed the situation. We pulled back. And in all fairness, I'd like everyone, out of respect, to just give a moment of silence to the loss of Congresswoman Lydia Velazquez's mother. She passed this morning, which is the reason that New York One postponed the debate. And out of respect to her, out of respect to the families, we did not have an action. And I'd like everyone to consider that as you have a moment of silence for her, because we have class. Despite what the media says, we're a bunch of rowdy hoodlums. We have class. We believe in what we're doing. We have the righteous fight, and we're obligated to walk in the righteous path, so we respect the loss of her family. But in a few days, we will be calling for public debates. In a few days, I will be calling for a people's debate, and I'd rather it not be on New York One, because I think that they've shut down the opportunity to hear truth. But I'd rather it be in a park, I'd rather we do it in the streets, and I'd rather it be broadcast by our media distribution networks, because we have our own global media. So now here we are, 2 weeks out. We know that the corporate control of the media is trying to shut us down, but they can't. We got 3 times as many signatures as legally required, raised just $500, but they say it takes $1.2 million to win a race. You can't even fathom that. That's why they're confused, which is great. I like them to be confused. I love it when they're disorganized, because they're not going to pass any bills against us this week because they're concerned for their jobs. We have nonviolent, peaceful, legal remedies to remove these folks out of office, and that's what we intend to do. My candidacy is the first of many bum rushers, and we're coming with the integrity of a movement that says there's certain values to build horizontally, that says we build autonomous grassroots structures that empower people so that we could build deliberative bodies and communities. They solve their own problems, reduce the reliance on government while they control the elected officials at the same time. We intend to bum rush the city council race next year. Stop and frisk will end, or they will not get elected. Marijuana will be legalized in the United States of America, or they will not get reelected. And we're going to solve the biggest problem that we have in our country, which is apathy. Because we've allowed so many folks in political establishment to run careers for 20, 30 years while we've been sick and tired of being sick and tired. Then we got mobilized and we find each other in the streets and we have a movement where we're energizing the protest. Well, we're going to come for jobs too. And we're going to take those people's jobs so that we can actually have the public policy power to create programs like Jobs for All. We're going to move the agenda forward. And it doesn't matter if we get elected now, but I know we will. And I know we will because we have people on our side. We don't have money on our side, which is righteous. It's exactly perfect and where we need to be. But more importantly, we have the fire of a community, and I represent every person in my neighborhood now, back to my district, who was a child of a single mom, who they said would never achieve anything. I represent us, and no one will marginalize me. No one will marginalize the young people in my community, and we will rise together. They have not seen what we can become. Occupy all airways and spaces in between is what we say, and we're coming. But we need your support. I need your $5, your $10. I don't need your corporate PAC money. If you have corporate PAC money, God bless you. Well, but you're probably in the wrong place. Because we're not taking it. And we're challenged by people who have raised 92% of all their funds from corporate PACs. $800,000 is what we're up against, and we've raised just now a little about $7,000 in total, which is more than the $500 we raised when we got on the ballot, but it's good. What we do with that money is buy flyers, posters, and we bum rush the streets. So we need folks to help donate whatever you have. Your $5, your $10, your $20.12 is what we were asking folks, just to be commemorative of the year, as this is the Mayan calendar year, it's the end, and so why not throw $20.12 in? But maybe you only have a pound on it. Maybe you only got a dove on it. That's great. Maybe you have no dollars, but you got 3 hours in a day. We need you too. We need you to come outside. If you got 20 and you got hours, come outside too. We need everyone to be involved in this, so that we can make a statement loud and clear that money does not control the conversation, that we are not going to put up with corporate control of our electoral system, and that we will bum rush the streets with issue literacy and direct action as we reclaim the people's democracy and we build the people's movement to compete with the corporate control movements. And I got some brothers in here who are down with the movement, as we organized a few weeks ago in Washington, D.C., with people like Carlos Slim, for example. Carlos Slim is the Mexican tycoon who owns telecommunications in Mexico. It turns out that he gave $250 million as a loan to the New York Times. This person has been in charge of ruining Mexico's economy, crushing workers in his country, and now trying to influence our media. But of course, corporate dollars grows corporate dollars. So we have to build the people's institutions. That's why the Occupy Wall Street Journal is critical. That's why Occupy Wall ST is critical. Wall ST NYC is critical. .org, .net. Everything we do is important because we are rebuilding the broken, and we intend to replace those pieces. This is what Bum Rush represents. I need you to walk in the streets with me. We need your $20. We need your $5. We have 2 weeks left to get out the vote, to raise awareness, and to start pushing these people to where they need to be, out of the way. My name is George Martinez. We are Bum Rush to Vote. Thank you for being here. Please join us in the streets. Block by block.